Coming up on this week's episode of Flashtalk, Kent State women's golf head coach Casey VanDamme talks about his team's 26th consecutive MAC Women's Golf Championship. Baseball head coach Jeff Duncan talks about the home stretch. Athletic communications graduate assistant Chase Cotner talks about his wonderful 6 years. Finally, Kent State director of athletics Randale Richmond joins the show for our season finale. All that and more coming up in a flash. Joined on Flash Talk here by Kent State women's golf head coach Casey VanDamme. Coach, first off, congratulations. 26 consecutive MAC women's golf championships. Your team cruised to the title. It was really over after the second day. What can you say about that sustained tradition of excellence?
Well, thank you, first of all. And we've got a great tradition. Our administrators, through the years, the administrators had we started as a fully funded program, and our donors. And then we've had incredible players and some good coaches along the way. So we've been really lucky. But also we've had some great players that have done that.
You've had two players go to nationals the last couple of years, Leon Takagi 2 years ago, Veronica Kedranova last year. But your top three finishers in the MAC championship were all freshmen. Aaron Matthews, Isabel Goyette, as well as, I'm forgetting the last name, Gracie Larson. Of course. So those three, they all finish at the top. They're all freshmen. What can you say about the youth of this team performing at such a high level?
We've recruited some really good players, and they've continued to progress and get better. And so they've been in the lineup for most of the year for us and been producing at a pretty high level. So we're excited about the future, and we're excited about the real near future here as well.
You guys get placed in Columbus, a regional or a course, I should say, that you have played in before. How much of an advantage do you think that gives you?
I think we're really excited. We played the course 3 weeks ago. We played well, took third place in that event. And the course conditions will be a little bit different. It was real wet when we were there and cold, and I'm sure it's getting a little warmer now and a little firmer. But we're excited. We know the course very well, and it's just 2 hours down the road.
With this year's group, do you feel a little bit more well-positioned to potentially punch a ticket to nationals?
We have a lot more depth this year. And Veronica for the year has played really at a high level. I've liked all the teams I've had here, but this team in particular, and going to this region, I think we have a real good shot at getting through.
There's so many golfers that have improved over the course of the year since the fall, but are there a couple that stand out to you, especially having such a young team?
All of our freshmen have, and the players that haven't played in the lineup have really improved this spring. So I'm excited about the future. And this summer, there's going to be some players that haven't played for us that are going to have real good summers and make it tough for everybody next year in the lineup. And it's going to be a good competition for the next few years here.
What do you tell your golfers as sort of the mental preparation going into a tournament like this? Because I can imagine there can be a little bit of nerves. There's a little bit more pressure.
That's why we're lucky that we get to play in such great events all year long. We're playing against these same teams all the time. They know the players they're competing against. But it is on a little bit bigger stage. You just control what you can control. It's an old coach's saying, but it's true. You control what you can control and do the best you can on each shot and then go to the next one.
But what are some of the biggest things that you think that if you can control that, you guys will do very well?
We're one of the best driving teams in college golf. So we have to continue that, keep the ball in the fairway. And then for us, wedges and around the green a little bit. That's if we can be good at that, and Scarlet Course presents some challenges around the green, and so but we know how to prepare for it. We know exactly what the shots will be, and so we have a good 9 days to practice it.
I know you do have a senior on this year's team, Jen Gu. She's also had a number of great performances this year. It's a very young group, but what can you say about Jen and the performances that she's provided?
Jen Gu has won 4 MAC championship rings and been an instrumental part to our team, and done a great job in the classroom and in the community. Anybody on campus knows who Jen Gu is. And so looking forward to, she's going to graduate here soon, and looking forward to her doing big things in the years to come.
The 5 you had in your lineup were not a senior. So not only if you guys were able to punch your ticket to nationals this year, how much excitement does it give you for years down the road, knowing that there's still room for growth with already such a talented team?
Yeah, we have good players on our current roster. We have 5 freshmen, 2 sophomores, 1 junior and 1 senior. So I'm excited about, we're bringing in 1 next year as well from Columbus. And so I'm excited about the future.
I know Isabella Goya is local from Medina, Ohio, but you have a lot of internationals on your team. Veronica's from the Czech Republic. Gracie's from Australia, Aaron's from Canada. So was that the sort of idea, and how big is international recruiting to Kent State women's golf?
We've had a lot of international players through the years, specifically on the men's side a little bit more, but the women is to Canada. We've had a lot of Canadians, and so we want the best players and the best fit for Kent State to have a good experience, and all of our players love it here, love the place, and are producing at a pretty high level.
Kent State women's golf head coach Casey VanDamme. Coach, good luck in regionals.
Thank you very much.
For every just one more mile to your next ace on the court, when you have a sports-related injury, Cleveland Clinic is here. For our Cavaliers, our Guardians, and athletes at all levels, our sports medicine team helps keep you in the game. With expert diagnosis, personalized sports therapies, and game-changing surgeries. For every injury, for every athlete, for every care in the world. Cleveland Clinic.
Today, the world could use a little more understanding. Understanding nurtured by shared values. We come together at Kent State. Different dreams, different viewpoints, united by purpose. Preparing to make a difference in our divided world. Wherever you are in your life's journey, come learn with us. Begin at Kent State.
Joined on Flashtalk by Kent State baseball head coach Jeff Duncan. Coach, first off, congratulations. 374, now 375, the all-time winningest coach in Kent State baseball history. What can you say about that remarkable accomplishment?
I would have never thought 11 years ago when I got here that one, I'd be here this long, and then two, just have that title, I guess, in a program that has had so much tradition, all the championships, all the great coaches, Scott Strickland to Danny Hall, to Rick Rembolak, who I just broke his record. So, and he was a phenomenal coach. I'm just super humbled and honored. And it takes a whole army. I would say I got a great coaching staff. Mike Birkbeck and I have been together for 11 years. And then the rest of my staff, Zeke Pinkham's doing an unbelievable job this year. Cade McClure as well, helping Berkey out. And he's super talented, as you know. And then Dan Bertolini, who came from Youngstown. And I can't not mention Lance McDonald, who's an ex-player for us. That has been a huge help for me as a head coach, just helping me out in every aspect. He works so hard. And then there's like unsung heroes to this, strength coach, Clay Levine. This whole thing's got our program's built on three buckets. One is recruiting, and then it goes to player development, and then culture. And there's a lot of unsung heroes to that, and Clay Levine is one of them. Evan Schreier, a trainer, is another. You guys too, just from a marketing standpoint. Just in the last week, I feel so honored and humbled how you guys have even promoted our baseball program, and it's been awesome. It's been like Ed TV out there, but and I'm super grateful for that. So it takes a whole army to get this thing done, and it's not just me.
You take another series this weekend at home against your rival, the school down the road, 2 out of 3. Overall, what did you think of your team's performance?
I thought Akron played really well. That's what I came out of it, because we didn't play bad. And it was a good series. Obviously, game 1 got away from them. Akron saying, but game 2, I mean, we just didn't finish. But we didn't give it away either. They just did a really good job. We didn't close it down. And then on Sunday, for us to respond and win the series is a sign of a good baseball team. Is what it is, and we call it Championship Sunday, and we call it Championship Sunday for a reason. For one, you're playing for a championship on Sundays, and there's always a little bit of adversity whether you're in the tournament or on a weekend. And we were able to handle it Saturday. They kind of some things happened, and we didn't win, but we played well enough to win.
Yep.
But Akron just played really good, and then for us to bounce back, come back, and be down 3-0 early in the game, and then score 6 unanswered was awesome.
Brody Williams, I can't even count how many guys he's backpicked this year. He had a huge one in game 3 in the 8th inning to shut that inning down in the top half. What can you say about Brody's performance?
Obviously, he's being rewarded with that as he's up for numerous awards as a catcher. Buster Posey Award being the biggest, like the Heisman of a catcher. But one of the best catchers, like you said, in the country, for sure the best catcher in the league that I've seen so far. Great leader. I think he's going to catch in the big leagues. And I mean that when I say that. And scouts come in to see him weekly. And they ask me about him. That's what I say. I think he's going to catch in the big leagues. And the reason why is he's very a good leader behind the dish, but he's got, like you said, a great arm. He's a big physical kid that has flexibility, that plays small behind the plate. So like you said, arm strength. He's got power with the bat. He's hitting like 360, 370, moving the baseball around. Really good leader. And the thing is what I think is the neatest thing about Brody is he's had to work really hard. It hasn't always came easy to him. Last year wasn't the easiest year for him. And he just continues to work, get better, continues to mature. And I'm really happy for him.
A massive series in your chase for a regular season title coming up this weekend at Ball State for 3 games. Can you preview that series for us a little bit?
It's going to be a grind from here on out. Obviously, I know from a standings standpoint, we're 1 game back. And I know Keegan Johnson, their Friday night guys, good. And I know they're pitching it good and they're swinging it good right now. It's we've been here before. I told Coach Birkbeck and our coaching staff this yesterday after the game is we've been in this situation. It feels like every year where they're either coming to us or we're going to them. 2 years ago in 23, when we won the regular season, we went there and swept them to win it. And then they came back in the tournament here and beat us. So it's like it's going to be a great weekend. I have all the respect for Coach Maloney.
Jeff Duncan ahead of his team's big series this weekend at Ball State. Coach, thanks for the time and congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
I think you can do so much from traveling the world. So many people just stay in the box that we live in.
The study abroad program at Kent State made it clear what path I should be taking.
Experiencing the different classes to experiencing the art and the buildings and the culture. I'm just hoping to take back everything I've learned and be able to apply it into whatever I do in the future.
Kent State has basically helped to set up the vision for the career that I want to be able to go through.
Joined on Flash Talk by Kent State Athletics Communications Graduate Assistant Chase Cotner. Chase, appreciate you joining me, making your Flash Talk debut. Now, for viewers that don't know, Chase is one of the longer tenured people in the Kent State Athletic Department. Only Jay Farrello was the longest tenured sports information director, and Jay obviously wouldn't come on Flash Talk. So we got Chase making his Flash Talk debut. Chase, it's an honor.
It's a pleasure. This has been 6 years coming. I mean, I've been asking people for the last 6 years to come on this nationally recognized television program, and here I am.
Tell everyone, what does an SID really do? Because people don't really understand that.
Yeah, so SID is Sports Information Director. So anything on the, I always say, website, social media, anything media related comes through me. So photographers, videographers. If ESPN or CBS reach out, they reach out to the respective SID, then we talk to the coaches and the athletes. Just another level of like safety for our coaches and athletes. So we know where and what's being said about our teams.
Now, I know you've had a ton of experience with Kent State baseball, not only as an undergrad, but as a graduate assistant too. What has that program meant to you overall? And tell me about some of the relationships that you built.
The Kent State baseball program is so special to me because I started with them my freshman year. So, I mean, it's where I got my start. And then I met Dan through it. So then I found athletic communications and being an SID. And absolutely, I fell in love with it from pretty much the jump. And then now, obviously, I'm in grad school for being a sports information director. I'm applying to do it at the next level. It's where I found what I want to do.
Of course, Dan Griffin was the host of Flash Talk before me. He came in right around the same time as you as the director of athletic communications. So what was it like working under Dan for a while?
He got hired in August of 2019, and I started as a freshman. Our paths didn't really cross until my junior year or my sophomore year, but I mean, what a better role model than
Yeah.
he's amazing. I mean, what he does, how he balances everything that he had going on. Seeing him up here for Mondays on Flashtalk, but then it's just trying to help him in any way possible. I got a lot of experience just from him being like, I have so much on my plate. Here is this. Can you help me with this? And it's got me to where I am today.
At Kent State baseball, there's been a lot of great memories that you've had, the regular season championship in 2023, but what are some of your favorite memories and some of the favorite players that you got to watch?
I mean, the regular season championship's the pinnacle. You always remember championships. So that team is so special to me. I mean, that was my senior year of undergrad. So I was with a lot of those guys for 4 years, but even the transfers that came in, the Joe Whitmans, the Mitch Scotts, I got close with them. They were my age. And obviously Joe's in professional baseball now. Aiden Longwell's in professional baseball now. Justin Mickness, Luke Matthews. I mean, there's a bunch of guys that are in professional baseball now. You connect with everybody on the team. I mean, some of my favorite memories are like nights in the hitting facility, like guys texting me being like, hey, can you come feed the machine for me? Yeah, I'm there. So me and Trevor Burke, one of the other old student managers, would go and rotate feeding the machine, and you're just chirping the players. It's a lot of fun.
Talking about Kent State baseball, we know we've had pitching coach, associate head coach Mike Birkbeck on the show. Also, Jeff Duncan. What are some of your favorite memories, not only with them, conversations, things you can remember?
They're both so special to me. Like, Berkey is, the main thing is just how quick-witted he is. He's quick to make a joke on a lot of things. And then for Dunk, it's the love for the program. I mean, he texted me the other day, hey, I've been told I'm at 200 MAC wins now. Congratulations, Coach Duncan. But he was like, it's not about me. It's about the guys. I don't want anything out about it. So, I mean, it's just his selflessness to this program that is so special to me.
Chase is the SID for soccer and baseball. He's been with the baseball program for a while, but you also stat a lot of different sports. So you've been there for football. You've been there for a lot of men's and women's basketball games. Take me through. You got a lot in the memory bank there through 6 years.
One that sticks out to me was my senior year, regular season finale. That school down the road comes into here. It ends up being a double overtime, just thriller of a game. Flash has come out on top. Of course. Good guys always win. But the atmosphere, I've never felt the MAC quite like that. I mean, we got to overtime. Smills was doing the music. He was deep in his bag. But then another one that sticks out was just this year, the Sienna Stambolich's walk-off Olympico in the MAC tournament to advance. I mean, knowing what she went through all year in terms of battling injuries, it's her senior year. She wants to play, and then she's able to deliver like that on the biggest stage of the year. It's so special.
That's Kent State Communications Athletics GA Chase Cotner. Chase, thanks so much.
Thank you much.
Coming up this week in Kent State Athletics, brought to you by KSU Ticks. Baseball starts a massive 3-game series at Ball State Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. On Friday and Saturday, men's and women's track and field takes part in the Jesse Owens Invitational hosted by Ohio State. Softball wraps up their 2025 season in a 3-game set against the school down the road on the road, 2 with a doubleheader on Saturday, and they finish up on Sunday. And finally, on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, women's golf competes in the NCAA Regional Championships in Columbus, Ohio at OSU Golf Club. As always, you can buy your tickets at ksutix.com. If you want more information on your favorite Flashes teams, visit kentstatesports.com or go to the Go Flashes app. We'll be back with more right after this.
When it comes to reaching your goals, having the right support can make all the difference. That's why we trust Green Lending, Kent State Athletics' exclusive mortgage partner, to help you achieve your home ownership dreams.
Just like on the court, everyone has a role to play. With the right teammates, any dream is possible. Green Lending is here to be that support to help you make those big moves in life.
Visit greenlending.com and let Green Lending help turn your dreams into reality.
Green Lending, helping Golden Flashes achieve their biggest dreams on and off the court.
The Army was my home, and I loved it. It gave me a lot of opportunity. Kent State has been probably the most friendly when it comes to veterans. So far, I'm 4.0 student. Most of it's been because of the help of the professors. Now that I'm older and I want to learn, I feel like I'm learning more, faster, and it's a lot more fun.
Joined here on Flash Talk by Kent State Director of Athletics, Randale Richmond. Appreciate you joining me as always, and there's been a lot of success for your sports teams in this spring season. Specifically, I'll start Kent State Women's Golf, 26 consecutive MAC Women's Golf Championships.
I really want to give Casey a lot of credit for what he's done in the leadership of that team, and really good assistant in Manuela. and they have a good rhythm of how they connect with the young ladies on that squad. Jennifer Gu, the lone senior on that squad, and the way that she provides leadership as a consummate team player, and just seeing the amazing performance by the 3 freshmen that they brought in this past year, and how they've all stepped up. So it really is impressive in terms of how he's put that team together, how he's recruited some talent, but more so how they've all taken a different role of leadership throughout the years. Selfless leadership, and that's how you accomplish the goals that they've accomplished. 26 in a row is remarkable.
Baseball. Jeff Duncan recently got to win number 374. You presented him with a nice jersey this weekend before a game against the school down the road. The all-time winningest coach now in Kent State baseball history.
It really is crazy. 374 wins, now 375 after they took the series this weekend. It really is impressive. I mean, you look at the history from Danny Hall to Rem Blake to Scott Strickland, an alum. Mm-hmm. So, Dunk is becoming a legend following 3 legends. I mean, that is really tough to do. And you look at his personality, his approach to the game, his love for the game. It makes sense that a guy like that can handle that sort of pressure and have the success. And I want to give Mike Birkbeck, Coach Berkey, a lot of credit for that idea with the jersey. It is absolutely awesome. And another thing about Dunk, he's got some swag to him, so it adds to his swag, because that is a beautiful-looking pinstripe jersey with that 374 on it.
Once athletic directors and athletic programs get to the summer, a lot of people don't really think about this type of perspective. What are some of the main duties for you specifically during the summer when no sports are going on?
It's busier than people realize. I was a part of this leadership thing probably about 3 years ago, ran by the Mid-American Conference. And, these guys said that, a leader's job is this acronym called SAM, set the mission and vision for the organization, allocate the resources, and then motivate and inspire. So a lot of the summer is setting that new mission, the micro missions that you want to accomplish in the upcoming year. Last year, we were thinking we had an issue with communication, maybe alignment throughout the department the year before. So we went over our head coach's retreat, crucial conversations. How can we start a conversation to make sure that we're getting these things out here so they don't linger, so we can accomplish more of our goals, right? Our ultimate mission is always going to be to graduate student athletes boldly prepare for life after sport and win championships. So that summer is looking at the changing landscape and seeing how we're still going to accomplish those goals. Get in front of our coaches, get in front of our leadership team, say, okay, here's the big agenda items for this upcoming year. We've gone and done all our research. I'm linking with colleagues. I'm going to different conventions, and we're engaging with how the landscape is changing. And then we're saying, okay, this is how the landscape is changing at large. Here's what it's going to mean for the Mid-American Conference. Here's what it's going to mean for Kent State. Here are our goals. Let's line them up. Who needs to be the actors in these goals, and how do we need to execute if you are playing this role in these goals? And then we go out and attack the year.
Randale, you've called this your senior year, your 4th year. Well, for the senior year of many of these athletes, you've seen them grow up as freshmen, as 18-year-olds coming into this campus, and now they're graduating. So what can you say as a whole about Kent State athletics? And you've seen kind of this group grow up.
Dane, it really is special to me. It's amazing how the 4 years have gone so fast, but to see these young people come in and me come in as a young AD and seeing the accomplishments collectively that have happened along the way, it's happened in so many different facets. I am super proud of it. When we look at our mission, we talked about impacting the community, and they've done that. Over the last 4 years, 2 times we finished 5th place in the nation in the community service competition in Division I athletics. We've won 18 championships across 12 sports in our short time together. That's a lot of winning. There's a lot of broad winning. So that's why I've been wearing so many different rings throughout our time here. And, the type of student athletes they are, their level of character, engagement, how they attack the classroom. Again, 3.371, the highest GPA in history. I say all these things because it gives context to how special of a time these 4 years have been. And now the world of the NCAA has changed. But one thing that hasn't changed and won't change will be our care and our focus on our young people.
That's Kent State Director of Athletics, Randale Richmond. Randale, we always appreciate the time. We look forward to watching the rest of these Springs teams. Keep killing it.
Thanks, brother.
That'll do it for the spring season of Flash Talk. Special thanks to everyone at FanDuel Sports Network and our entire studio here at GFTV. Ethan Latinsky, Justin Spots, I'm Dane Richardson saying good night and go Flashes.
As you know, Kent State Athletics, our basketball team has historically been a huge part of our athletic department. We have a winning tradition. We always bring a great game. But in today's day and age, the basketball game itself isn't going to entice the average fan. We really need to come over the top. We need to do these exciting things like they do in professional sports. And without sponsors or partners like Ken Ganley, we wouldn't be able to afford to do like tonight, the esports night with the Ken Ganley game room. Also being able to do the $10,000 putt at halftime that they're supporting. So those types of things help us advertise and get out into the community and maybe reach people who are not just the average basketball fan. They also help us out off the court. So many of our faculty, our staff, and our coaching know that they can go to Ken Ganley Chevrolet, get themselves a vehicle in a short amount of time without having to shop everywhere. They're so important to us on so many levels that we're just so grateful that they're a part of our family, and I don't know how we would live without them.